Sanjeev, it's good to see you remotely, though. It would have been even better if you were with us in person. I hope you can hear me.
I can hear you, Arnav. It's always a pleasure to be with you and at the Republic Summit.
Thank you, Sanjeev. Sanjeev, we've been talking to people and stakeholders in business, government, politics, governance, chief ministers. We hope to have the Prime Minister this evening. How have things changed for you? I mean, you're one of the biggest business houses, most diversified, probably one of the largest from the eastern part of the country, and spread out in India and globally now. You're also doing a lot of work globally. You have global aspirations as well. So can you just look at your story and how have government policies impacted you, if at all, in the last, say, 10 years? And how do you look to the next 10?
Arnav, quite honestly, India under Modi is a different India. It's a confident India. It's an aspirational India. And it's an India that wants to not only conquer the world, but rule the world. I think it's thanks to the Prime Minister and the policies of this government that every one of us in business has started thinking global, has started thinking scale, has started thinking of while you locate manufacturing in India, you manufacture for the world. The approach has changed. The scales have changed. The aspirations have changed. And of course, the policies have changed. It has become easy to do business in India. And very importantly, India is viewed with a huge degree of respect across the world, as indeed are Indians. And that is thanks to Modi. I am a firm believer in Modi hai to mumkin hai.
Sanjeev, tell me, we've spoken about this and you're very keen to explore things globally. When we say we travel abroad now, we see a different level of respect. The relationships are different at a personal, professional, and business level. Indian companies are thinking of going abroad. As one of the biggest business houses in the country, as one of the biggest business personalities of the country, Sanjeev, our theme is Dare to Scale. Are you looking at going global, and how do global players relate to you now? When you talk to your global partners and global investors and other stakeholders, how do they relate to you now? Can you give us anything anecdotal about this?
You know, in the past, when you introduce yourself as an Indian company, if you were a Ratan Tata or a Mukesh Ambani or a Gautam Adani, it was different. But for most other companies originating out of India, you didn't even get an audience at the senior most level. Some middle level guy would see you. Today you get an audience at the senior most level. And that is the difference that Modi and his government has brought to the perception of India.
Oh, that's huge. Now, you're taking risks. I'll take one more question and hand it over to you, Swesha. But I'm very keen to know, you see, people say, are people investing in India? Are Indian houses investing abroad? Are they parking their capital abroad? But you have done the opposite. You are going to acquire Aquafarm Chemicals company for 3,800 crores. And congratulations, last month you acquired a 4,000 crore company in the chemicals business. So, you know, you're always making about 10,000 crores of investment between these two decisions. And obviously, when a businessman invests 10,000 crore rupees, he wants a return. And there is a mammoth amount of risk that is involved. Is this investment possible without a solid foundation, without what you would call a good climate? Can you talk about the climate in which things are happening which allow you to take these fearless decisions?
You know, any of these decisions happen on the basis of policies, on the basis of the environment, on the basis of the confidence you have on the administration. And I think that confidence is so huge that people are actually becoming not only ambitious, but as you said, fearless in taking investment decisions.
You're talking cautiously still, Sanjeev, but I just wanted you to make this point because, and I'll say this to the audience, you wouldn't be hearing this, that, Sanjeev, if I can just take a detour and give my own. Sometimes we hear that, things are difficult, the government wants a lot of compliance, taxes are being followed, businessmen are feeling insecure, Indian businesses are leaving India, people are leaving their Indian citizenship, more Indians want to stay in Dubai than in India, but Sanjeev Goenka still continues to do almost all his business in India. And if he's going abroad, it is for business reasons, for investment. So he's a classic example of a person. So don't believe the story if somebody tells you that businessmen don't want to be compliant. I think that's a living example of that story. Congratulations to you, Sanjeev, for that. That's a really good thing that you're doing. Suesha takes the next question. Suesha.
In fact, Mr. Goenka, I want to make a point further to what Arnab just said about the acquisition of the 4,000 crore company in the chemicals business. You just spoke about favorable government policies. How do you manage to converge that with an astute group strategy? And how does this diversification complement the group's mission towards sustainability? What are your long-term plans on that?
This company is actually producing something called green chelates in addition to phosphonates. Green chelates is the most green version of detergents that you can get. And Aquafarm is one of the 2 companies in the world which has this technology. It's very easy to scale up from here, and this is as green gets. I mean, we have the world majors who are our consumers and potential clients who are waiting to get this product.
Right, and you take a lot of pride in Indian roots. You're also very high on Ayurveda and the ancient legacy of it. What are the company's plans to take Ayurveda to the international realm now?
So we are going to launch Indian Ayurveda in a modified, easy to consume form towards the end of this calendar year in the US. So for example, a traditional kadha, as we know it, will not be sold as a kadha but will be sold as an infusion. The normal chavanprash, the normal shitopaladi will be sold in gummy form. So it's all easy to consume. It's the same formulation, but just made easy to consume.
Can I take the next?
Yes, please.
Sanjeev, you are a 200-year-old group if you look at your whole history. And you have a big asset base. You have a $7 billion asset base. You have solid revenue flow. You have, I think, of over $4 billion annually revenue flow, 4.3 billion, I'm told. So you should be in a good position to be looking at areas where the growth will be. I'm sure you don't believe in sitting on capital. I'm sure you believe in investing, and you're investing, you're going into different areas. So I'm very curious to know, and many businessmen, entrepreneurs will be keen to know what are those areas which someone as savvy as Sanjeev Goenka will invest in. You're going into some areas, some element of FMCG, you've gone into a bit of media, and you've acquired an IPL team, which I don't think was a business decision, it was more an emotional decision. But having said that, what are the areas in which Bharat over the next decade will see exponential growth?
Green energy is one business where you will see huge growth. So we are investing in solar generation, in wind generation. In fact, we have said that about 60 to 70% of the power that we distribute in the 6 cities that we have the license to operate will be green. We are going to get into hydrogen electrolyzers. We are exploring this area in a very strong way. That's one. Green chelates is another form of completely green product. Ayurveda is, again, as green as it gets. So we are looking at green as the path forward. We do believe that is the way to go. I'd just like to mention your comment on the IPL team.
Yes, meant to provoke
I've heard
you.
this before, that it was not a business decision.
Yes.
But let me just say that I paid 7,000 crores for the license. 2 years later, I sit on more than one offer at a value of 14,000 plus.
So you're saying that investing 7,000 crores in Lucknow Super Giants is a business decision?
Well, out of the 7,000, I've said this before and I'll say this again, 6,100 was something that came out of a calculation done by our advisors and financial consultants. And 100 crores per year was the passion element.
Don't worry, I'm just provoking you. I'm just pulling your legs, Sanjeev. Don't take me seriously on this one. Let me have some fun. It's been a day of serious conversations, and I think I have the ability to pull your leg once in a while. We go back a long enough way to do that. But what are you doing?
For
I mean,
sure.
are people like
sure.
you and Gautam Adani, Mukesh Ambani, I'm sure, and other major, the Birlas, are you doing enough to generate entrepreneurship? That's my first question. And my second question is, how do you view people who are running behind valuation? You see, Sanjeev, you're a 200-year-old company. Today, everybody wants to be a billionaire within 6 months. Everybody is after this valuation game. And running behind the valuation game, you've seen what happened to certain companies in recent days, like Byju's and others, So, please answer both these questions. It's important that we must have the right ethics when we are running a business. So, 2 questions. Are you really doing enough to grow entrepreneurs from your side, as a company, as an individual? And C, what do you make of this running behind billions instead of building sustainable businesses?
Arnab, if you build sustainable businesses which are profitable and growth-oriented, you will make billions. A concept can give you a head start. But if it is not sustainable, if it is not cash accretive, if it is not stakeholder remunerative,
True.
you are not going to get valuations which are sustainable. So I, for one, am not a great believer in these very fancy kind of media hype that gets created over certain companies. But having said that, look at the number of companies which have started from scratch and have done so admirably. There's so much to be learned from that zeal, from that spirit, from that never say die attitude. You talked about Mukesh and Gautam Bhai and Kumar. They are in a scale way above mine. Mukesh is somebody I've unabashedly said is like my guru. He's somebody I look up to. He's somebody I try to follow. But they are there, I'm here. So, as far as I'm concerned, as far as we are concerned, we've started a small venture capital fund for FMCG, where we are not investing in startups, but second stage startups. And we are not only putting capital, but we are giving management expertise, and we are helping these companies scale up. So it's a small thing, it's not enough, but it's a beginning.
That's really good. And I think that's excellent. And I think it's good that you're also investing in the media, because that's where commitment and impact investing is happening. So I think it's all good. We look up to you. I think you're a very grounded person. And I think, you represent traditional values. I think your next generation is going to take it to the next level, and we are always proud to be associated with you and to speak to you. So, Swesha, may you close,
Absolutely. And in fact, furthering this point, you know, there are also businesses that are struggling to stay relevant. You have a 200-year-old legacy group. You've seen governments change one generation after the other. How do you manage to evolve, innovate at every step? We are talking about Bharat, the next decade. What is the game plan for RPSG in the decade to come?
You know, frankly, I'm not thinking of a decade. It's the whole planning horizon has narrowed down. So over the next 3 years, we are investing about 55,000 crores, mostly towards green projects. That's committed, and that's at various stages of takeoff. And we'll take the next step. We'll start planning on that 12 months from now.
So, 3 takeaways from this conversation, Swesha, that I carry. 1, invest in India. Big Indian businesses are investing in India. This theory that big Indian businesses and successful businesses want to leave India because of compliance issues is completely wrong. Absolutely wrong. Second big takeaway is invest in value creation, not valuation. And I think that's very important. And third is, from talking to him, remain grounded. Thank you very much. It's been an absolute pleasure, and look forward to seeing you soon, Sanjeev.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sanjeev. Lots of love. Thank you.